Hello everybody and welcome back to the next episode of the Part-Time to Big Time Save. Thank you again so much for your continued support for this project. Head to the channel, subscribe if you like what you're watching, and stay tuned for future notifications. So here we are back again with Chorley. We just show you how it's gone over the past few games. So you remember the last time I think was it the Heartbreak? Oh, it was the Filed game, maybe 2-2 with the Filed game. So since then we've had a game postponed, which was might have been the Geisley game, so that's been rearranged to there. And we'd won 2-0 at Hereford. Malenik Ali and Connor Hall with the goals there in a game we really dominated them. To be fair, they were never in it. And then we won 4-1 at Brackley in a game that 4-1 probably flattered us. Malenik Ali, Jessup, Malenik Ali again, and Jessup. Malenik Ali's really hit form recently. So that was a fantastic game, but it was quite an even game really. I say 4-1 did flatter us. And then last game out, it was a defeat, a 3-2 defeat to Farsley. We 1-0 up, then we went 3-1 down, pulled a goal back, and couldn't come up with it. They had 2 goals disallowed actually. They were the better side, even though RXG is more. They were the better side. I think fitness and condition came down to a lot of it. We was on our knees towards the end of that game, really struggling. We had a suspension, and really struggling on that. But here we are. So now we are going to go for. Oh, sorry, just go back. So we have Leamington Spa game. So these are bottom of the league, I think. Yeah. So I thought we'll do a game against bottom of the league, and then York, who are top of the league. So if you look at the fixtures, so you got Leamington, then we've got Boston United, which are playoff line, and then York, who are top of the league. So let's see how this goes. So this is the team that we are going with today. Irwin in the nets, Henley, Lever, Smith and Blakeman at the back. Tomlinson and Shenton in field. Whitehouse, Malenik Ali on the wings with Jessup and Sampson up top. So here we go. Let's submit that team. So these are bottom of the league, but we are away, so always is a slight leveller. But really, we should be picking up 3 points here. Not much happening so far. It's a cagey start from both teams. Although we are rocking 62% possession. So we've, as expected, started off the better side, but 25 minutes in and not one highlight of note yet, other than Blakeman has been booked after 3 minutes, and that's about it so far. So this isn't so far the Bethnal entertainment. This would be the last game on match of the day for sure, the way it's heading at the moment in time. Hopefully we can change that around. Nearly approaching half time and not one highlight of any note, which is odd. So yeah, I think that's potentially the first time that's ever happened to me. We've got 8 shots, 3 on target. Our XG is 0.85, 55% possession. They've had 3 shots, none on target, an XG of 0.11. So we have been the better side, but let's just point finger. And I don't like what I saw from this team. Give them a little bit of a, not the hairdryer treatment, but a little bit of a rocket. Not happy with that performance so far. And here we are, we've got a highlight. Potentially could be them on for the highlight though, as we intercept this. I said I wanted a highlight, I didn't want a highlight for them. This isn't good. That just goes wide. So yes, not really the game we wanted. Melenik Ali is playing particularly poorly after I gave him the beans before game. I'm going to pull him off, I think. No pun intended. Let's take him off. He went down to 6.1 then. So we'll bring on Ustabasi. Jessup is also having a poor game, but we'll leave him on for now, seeing as our top goal scorer. Yeah, and they just need a kick up the proverbial, really. Here we are. This could be an attack for us. Samson wins the ball in the air, as often does. Blakeman inside to Shenton after the clearance. Back to Smith and Leather. Playing about nicely. Tomlinson to Sampson. Sampson has hit one from outside the box, and the keeper has made a good save there. It was a bit of a highlight save for the cameras, but still it needed saving nonetheless. And Leather with a free header. 5 yards out. Should have scored. Shenton looks like he's given everything. Yeah, we'll change him for Calverley. Like I say, we have had issues with fitness, but we've had a week off before this game, and nothing really struggling here. We weren't really struggling in this game, although they are dipping a little bit, but you expect that from part-time. But still 0-0 to bottom of the league. Let's give them a demand more shout for the entire team. Blakeman with the corner. Jessup. No, it's Scott Leather. Beat Jessup to the header. And it's 1-0. I mean, we've deserved it, but it's been a toil. Certainly has been a struggle. I thought it was Jessup with the header, but it was Leather. And I say we have deserved that, but it's been a poor performance, really. Corner from the other side, Blakeman again with the liver. Does that go? Oh, I thought Calverley had scored then. We are a threat. Blakeman whips in a lovely ball, you know, akin to Charlie Adams in his heyday. And was it Alex Ferguson once famously said he's worth 10 million just for his corners alone. And Blakeman is like the non-league version of Charlie Adams. Whitehouse hits the bar from hits the post from a lovely move, and hopefully we can, you know, hang on isn't the right word, because Leamington Spa haven't really shown us much. I don't want to jinx it. Well, there we go, full time 1-0. Yeah, I mean, nearly 2 XG, 7 shots on target, 55% possession. The stats tell us that we were by far the better side, but the highlights tend to suggest otherwise. But we'll be happy with that 1-0 win. That moves us up into 4th in the league, 5 points behind Fylde, who have gone top. Did York get beat today? No, they didn't play, I don't think. So yeah, so 5 points behind Fylde. So the next game will be York. Yeah, I think we're at home to York, aren't we? Let me just... Oh, York did win, actually, 2-0. Didn't show up on there. So, let me just see. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the next game is Boston United at home. That's next week, next Saturday. So we'll play that one offline, and I'll come back for the York game, which is a few days later, only on the Tuesday. So that could be interesting fitness-wise. So we'll see how that one goes, and I shall cut offline to the York game. Okay, so here we are back for the York game. I'll show you what happened in the last game at Boston. It was a 3-1 win. Samson with a header, Jessup and Leather with a header from a corner. We did lose Blakeman early on to an injury for 20 minutes with a hamstring issue. It was a 2 to 3 day injury in the end. He is back for today's game, but he's not really firing on all cylinders. Tomlinson picked up a booking, which was his 15th of the season, so he is now out of this game, suspended, which is far from ideal. So Blakeman passed the fitness test, so I'm going to start him. We'll see how he goes. Could be a mistake. He could end up lame in this, but we'll see. So we're going with Irwin, Henley, Leather, Smith and Blakeman in midfield. Calverley has stepped in for Tomlinson with Shenton. Whitehouse and Ali on the wings. Now Ali, at the start of this episode, I gave him the big hoo-ha from his recent performances, and he has turned in some shockers. 2 6.1s his past 2 games, so he's been really poor. So, but we're going to give him this game, and Ustabasi is chomping at the bit to come back in. Ustabasi, by the way, has arranged a transfer away from the club. He's joining a Turkish league club, Akhisarspor. I don't know, I'm sure I butchered that name, but he'll be joining them in July, so we'll be losing Ustabasi with Jessup and Samson up top. So that's what we're going with. I say this is only a few days after the last game, so we are struggling a little bit in terms of fitness. But this is certainly the game of the day, as we are now just 3 points behind first, and York are second, and we are playing them at home today. So let's see how this one goes. As I say, I am a little bit concerned over the fitness of some of our players here, but let's kick off and see how this goes. Us being at home, you would hope, would give us a little bit of an advantage, but we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully there might be a bit more action than the last game of this episode, where it was not even one highlight of note in the first half. Hopefully that won't be the case here, although I will take a 1-0 win if you offered it me right now. I'm going to keep a close eye on Melenik Ali's performance here, because he's a streaky player. He either plays really well or really poor. There's nothing in between. Jessup crosses in, and Samson, does that count? He looked off. No, that's gone in. That counts. That's 1-0. Love an assist from one striker to another. Akin to Sutton and Shearer back in the day for Blackburn. Jessup and Samson. Samson and Jessup is the new front line for Chorley, the new deadly duo at this level, and that's 1-0. I say it is going to be a game where we're going to have to think about changes at some point, hopefully after half time. And if you just hit the bottom of the post, it seemed to take an awkward bounce and bounce right through everybody. Ali 6.3 again. He's just gone 6.4. He's not playing well. Maybe he needs a rest. A few games out of the side might be best for his confidence. I'm going to have to look into that. Certainly, if he finishes this game poorly, then we're going to bring Ustabasi back in for a little run in the side, because Ali's just not performing at all. Henley brings it down. Lever with a long ball. Whitehouse wins it. Jessup is through. It's stuck a deflection. Oh, it's hit the bar. It took a deflection. I think he tried to cut that back and it bounced off the defender and onto the bar. So, yeah, we've made it through to half time. 1-0 up. Things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. That's the team talk we're going with. Deep and meaningful, I know, but there's not a lot of options that we can do here. We're going to do it till 60 minutes and make a change. I'd like to see this corner out over the bar. Shenton's going to have to come off. He's shattered. Henley with the ball. Jessup's found it. What a volley and what a save. Was he offside? No, it wasn't. Blakeman with the ball in. Blakeman, with his health, like, he's getting up there. So he passed the fitness test, but he's only a few days recovered from a tight hamstring, and he's playing poorly. Right, we've made it to 60 minutes. Let's make a couple of changes here for what I can do. So we'll put Henley on the left. We'll bring Blakeman off and bring on Andy Halls, and Shenton is shattered, so we'll have to bring on the Nathan Okome. I'm tempted to bring Melenik Ali off. He's on a 6.1 again, but I'd like to leave a sub in the bank in case of an injury. The last thing we want to do is playing with 10 men when we haven't had anyone sent off. It's always good to keep a sub back. York with the corner here. That Donaldson has missed a couple of headers from corners. He's been threatening. He's threatening one. Melenik Ali, 6 rating now. I mean, poor isn't even describing his recent form. I'm going to have to bring him off. Yeah, he's going to have to come off for the last 10 minutes. Let's bring on Ustabasi. What does Ustabasi play better as a winger, isn't he? I'm going to keep him as an inverted winger to stop kind of attacks down that side there. So we'll keep him as an inverted winger for the last 10, and hopefully we can hang on what would be a massive result to one of our main promotion rivals. Approaching the last few minutes now. Oh, let's not into a counter attack. Henley back to the keeper. Nothing silly here. Back to Henley, streaking down the wing. He's played a ball through. Samson brings it down, and I think it's been disallowed. Oh, the amount of goals we've had disallowed for offside has been insane. I love it when a good angle. I mean, I don't know which one's which. It's not a good angle. We've not got a good camera gantry in Chorley's ground. You know, usually it's one of them ones that matches there where there's a big post in the way. Ustabasi comes in. Let's not turn this into a counter attack. Holes to Leather. Ustabasi back to Leather. Inside to Calverley. Oh, it was just this. Let's not. This is dangerous. This has got all the makings of tears. You just knew it. I mean, where's the offside flag there? That's. Oh, I'm absolutely gutted. 30 seconds left. You just knew it. Oh. I mean, he looked offside then as well. It's hit a volley and it's gone straight through our keeper. Oh, that's a real kick in there. Let's have a look. Offside. I mean, he's off. He's offside there, and it's not been given. And we've had a goal disallowed for. I mean, we've been robbed. Absolutely robbed. The refereeing at this level is nothing short of disgraceful. And I'm furious. It's angered me deeply. Let's see. Well, I mean, we didn't lose. We're still 2 points off the top, so a win for us, you know, and a loss for Fylde at the moment, or York, would move us into top spot. But that's, I mean, we were absolutely robbed. I'm furious. I'm absolutely furious. So that's on a rather angry way to end this episode. Let's see what games we've got coming up. Darlington, Chester, Southport, Blyth, Kidderminster. Now, Southport game is one we'll definitely play. So yeah, we'll play the Southport game and maybe the Kidderminster game. Southport and Kidderminster, they're up and around where we are. So I'll play them, the Darlington and Chester game offline. We'll move up into the Southport game for the next episode. We will hopefully get the youth intake very shortly, round about kind of mid-March, end of March, I believe it comes in. I think it varies year on year, but hopefully we'll get the youth intake through and we can see what we need. Some bodies in to bolster the squad, and that's probably the best way of doing it. Even though they'll be 16 years old, there might be, if there's an outstanding player. What did it say for the youth intake? Yeah, an excellent intake. We've got a great goalkeeper coming through. That's not really going to help us, and we've got a great attacking midfielder coming through. Doesn't really help us because we don't play with that kind of attacking midfielder. So, on second thoughts, we might not get much value from this youth intake from us, but it is what it is. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for the continued support. Please subscribe to the channel, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.